Sound. Let's begin by looking at the difference between sound and noise. Sometimes these words are interchangeable, but not always. A sound can be pleasant, neutral, and or unpleasant, but noise is always either neutral or unpleasant. I woke up to the lovely sound of my wife playing the piano. Pleasant. I could hear the soft sound in their voices in the other room. Neutral. The fighting cats made horrible scratching sounds. Unpleasant. I can't hear you. There's a lot of background noise. Could you call me back? Neutral. My car is making an annoying buzzing noise whenever I turn on the AC. Unpleasant. If a noise or sound is very strong, we can describe it as a loud noise or loud sound. And if it's really intense, then we can describe it as a deafening sound or deafening noise. On the other hand, if we can barely hear it, then it's a faint or soft sound or soft noise. There's also muffled sound when it seems that something is blocking the sound. Noise that doesn't stop is called constant or incessant noise. You hear this type of noise if the house is close to the highway. For example, if you hear the road traffic day and night, if you work in a factory, then you might hear the hum of machinery all day long. And if you live next door to college students, you probably hear music blaring as they party every night. Nature is full of noises, too, such as birds chirping and dogs barking. If you sit near the ocean, you can listen to the waves crashing. When you are in the remote, deserted area, you might hear the wind whistling through the trees. And if there's a storm, you hear a rumble of thunder or be scared by a sudden thunderclap. Now let's talk about the absence of sound. There's a difference between the words quiet and silent. Quiet means that there's very little noise, whereas silent means there's no noise at all. You can emphasize the totality of the silence by saying that it was absolutely, completely, or perfectly silent. When it begins to be silent, you can say that silence descended or fell, and then when the noise interrupts the silence, it breaks or shatters the silence. It's also common to use the collocations to give emotional tone to the quiet or silence. The kids were oddly, strangely, uncharacteristically quiet. The fact that the quiet is unusual, not normal. His joke about sex were followed by an awkward or uncomfortable silence. The silence is due to embarrassment. After yelling at her brother, she lapsed into a stony, silent silence. The silence is due to anger. There's a shocked or stunned silence after the president announced his resignation. The silence is due to extreme surprise. The city becomes ominously, eerily quiet after midnight. The quiet is frightening and possibly dangerous.